Hello, my name is Anna Milner, and my major is early childhood education with a minor in STEM. So, the first question asked is, what is your area of certification and why did you choose it? So, I chose early childhood education because when I was 6 years old, I saw a student with special needs, and I really wanted to play with them and just be with them. And so, fifth grade came around, and I started babysitting these kids, and then in sixth grade, I got to work with the students that had special needs. And from that point on, I just wanted to be a teacher. And I chose STEM because it was something that was challenging to me and that I didn't know if I could actually do or not. And so I knew that in college I wanted to be able to challenge myself and go outside of my comfort zone. And so having that as a minor, it's been some of my favorite classes that I've ever taken here at Millersville. How do you think your students learn your subjects? So again, elementary school teacher, I kind of teach everything, but if I had to narrow down on one, I would say STEM, for instance. And I'm gonna have them learn by doing lots of hands-on. We always had, like we did oobleck. We made stuff with the marshmallows and like building towers as tall as you can. We did something I remember with popcorn and like different dyeing it, and like then a battery was involved somehow. Um, so I think the best way to teach, particularly STEM, is by doing lots of hands-on and not necessarily showing them the end result, letting them kind of figure it out first, because then if they have questions, then they can ask and I can help answer and guide them. Question number 3. What issues do you think influence the students, elementary adolescents you will be teaching, and how will you respond to these issues? So obviously we know bullying is a big issue that occurs, and what my teacher did in the past, the same teacher, this fourth grade teacher, she had a box and cards next to that box, and any student could write anything down anonymously and then put it in the box, and then she would go through and take the cards out and read them and then talk to the students individually and sort out the situation like that. And I think that that really encouraged students to be honest and be truthful instead of just calling someone out and tattling. And also having those discussions on bullying, showing that how it's not okay, how it's not good. Doing maybe twice a month lessons on bullying. Another thing that my teacher had, my fourth grade teacher was amazing, by the way. She had these things, she had pretzel sticks, and these pretzel sticks were for any student that didn't have a snack that day. So you would be able to go and take 1 or 2 pretzel sticks, and she knew because some students couldn't afford food or snack, so she provided it for them. So that was another thing that I thought was really cool. Alright, question 4 says, how will the block help you develop the professional development needed for teaching? So this is kind of like the professional behaviors, and so I'll just go through them in order. Demonstrates professional communication, obviously like no cursing, no nothing. Also emailing, and if the co-op gives you the phone number or whatever, I don't know, that just doesn't seem professional. Demonstrates honesty and integrity. So if you're sick, I know people get sick all the time, just being honest about that and showing that you really want to learn, but sometimes like things happen, so you can't always be there. So just like being honest. Respects diversity and civil rights of others. So I kind of got a little taste of this being in Puerto Rico. I had to teach in a class that was essentially Spanish and English speaking, but they mostly spoke Spanish, so I had to learn how to communicate with them and how to talk with them. Participates in the professional community. So at Millersville, there are actually so many different things that you can do as a teacher. There are lots of different conferences. There's one on the 8th, I believe, on ADHD or dyslexia. No, it's dyslexia. And I went to it last year and it was really good, and it shows you what a student with dyslexia goes through in a day. And you just get to learn a lot more, and it's just more information in your brain that you can use in your future classrooms. Also, there are tons of clubs that are always available to students. So that's an option. I'm in almost every education club. Color of Teaching and Echo are the 2 biggest ones for sure. And then just being involved in those can help you learn more for the future. Demonstrates professional relationships with students. So when I was in Puerto Rico, one of my friends who was teaching in the high school, her students would ask her for her social media since she's only 18 since she was just a freshman. And she would be like, no, like, you're my students, like, I respect you as a person. I mean, might be, like, close in age and have more commonalities than maybe you have with the other professor, but, like, you're my student in the end. You can't have my social media or anything like that. So just being balanced in the fact that, like, you're their teacher. Yes, you can be friendly with them, and maybe you can be quote unquote friends in a way, but you can't give out your social media or anything like that. Demonstrates commitment to becoming a professional. So again, as I stated earlier, we are teachers. So I think it's really important that you literally can't miss class. You can't slack on homework. I think homework is a really huge thing. I just think all of these things are really important, and I'm really excited to learn from these different discussions about diversity within a classroom and learning how, if I have a student that comes into my classroom, how I can make sure that they feel comfortable in learning the material and getting the help and resources that they need. So I really believe that just both of these classes are going to be super, super helpful. I don't really have any concerns. My only thing is I do like PowerPoints that go along with what we're talking about. Thank you guys so much, and I really look forward to being in your classes and learning this semester.